Here, welcome to this tutorial pagination and sorting with Spring Boot and Spring Data JPA by Aliu Sahabo Adam Coding Techniques. In this tutorial, we will first look at what is pagination. Pagination is the process of displaying the data on multiple pages rather than showing them on a single page. Features of pagination. Pagination limits output to the respective set of items, can traverse from one set of items to another set. We can use these buttons like next, previous to navigate around pages. We will also have the number of current page, which we will also use this to navigate around the pages. Pagination can handle the large offset of data values. The output can be ordered for e.g. ascending or descending according to some property. Pagination REST API call architecture. Here we have a REST API architecture for pagination. If we make a request, we'll have implementation in the service that returns a page result, which include the page element, the number of element per page, order of element, that is sorting, and the page number. So this is what we will have in the response. And that not only what we will have, we will also have like the number of items in the current page, the number of items per page, the current page number, the total number of elements available. We will implement this in the service later. Okay, so this is the architecture. What you will learn in this tutorial: building Spring Web MVC application with Spring Boot, how to facilitate efficient sorting technique with pagination, building Spring Web application with Spring Data JPA, making REST API call that returns a page, how to facilitate efficient data retrieval and navigation, building employee management system with pagination and sorting, using Bootstrap 5 in Spring application with TeamLeaf. Tools and technologies used. The tools and technologies used include Spring Boot 3.2.5, Java version 17, Maven, MySQL, TeamLeaf, Spring Data JPA, Tomcat, Eclipse, STS, and Bootstrap. Okay, we will build this pagination and sorting project on top of our previous employee management system project, which I will have the link below this video. You will check below this video, you will have the link both to the repository and to the link to the previous video which we will build this on. Okay, see you. Let's build this together. Here is the demo of the pagination and sorting project we are going to build in this tutorial. As you can see, this employee management system, we added some implementation on the previous tutorial for the employee management system. As the number of employees increase, we have to scroll. So with the pagination and sorting, we have divided them into pages, as you can see, and we can sort by first name, last name, and email. Here we have previous, that it takes us to the previous page. We have next page, and we have the number of pages that we have. We can go from the 3 to 4. As you can see, when I go to the 4, there is no next page, so the next button disappeared. But if I take it to 3, you see the next page now is back. As well, if I go to 1, so because after 1 we doesn't have another page, the previous page have disappeared. Okay, you can see we have next, previous, and we can sort this name based on first name, last name, and email. When we sort by first name, let's sort by first name and apply. We can just click on apply. As you can see, we have Aisha, Aliyu, Basi, Charles, A, B, C. That is, we sort by the first name. And when we go to the last page, we have Z. Okay, now let's sort by the last name. The Z here is for Zakir, so let's try to sort this by last name and see. Apply. Okay, now it's sorted by last name. As you can see, we have F here, so that means it is not sorted by first name because we doesn't have the same column as if we sorted it by the first name. Here we have A, H, J. It is sorted by last name. When we go to the last page, we can see that the Z is in the last name. As well, we can sort it by the email, the same thing, and we can navigate through and check. Okay, so this is what we are going to build on this tutorial. On the previous tutorial, which we can download from the GitHub, we can add the pagination and sorting to the employee management system, and you can find the link below this video, the link to the repository, and as well as the link for the tutorial for the employee management system without the pagination and sorting. Okay, let's do this together. As I said earlier, we will build this project on top of our employee management system application, where we will add the pagination and sorting to the project. And you will find the link to the video and to the repository below this video. When you click the link to the repository, it will take you to this page, and we can download this project by going to the code. You will see download zip. Okay, when we download this project, we will import it to the STS. Okay, and the project is downloading. Here is the project complete, show in folder. Okay, so here is the project, and we will extract this. Let's extract here. Okay, you see we have the project extracted, and let me just reduce the name of this project to just employee management system. Okay, so here is okay. Now we will go to the STS and import this project. Okay, from the STS, go to create import project, existing Maven project. You will see browse, click on the browse, and let's go to download. In the download, we have the employee management system. Click on this, select folder, then finish. So this will import the project, and here is the project it is importing, and it will take time. So the project finish import. Here is the project. Let's open the project. So here is the starter class. Okay, let's run this project and then try to access the employee page. Run as Spring Boot app. The project will start running, and it will take time to finish. So here is the project. It start running and it will start on the port 8080. Once it start, we will access the employee page from the project. So our project started on Tomcat started on port 8080. So when the project start, to confirm, go to the browser, try to access localhost 8080 employees. Okay, so here is the project. As you can see, we have many users. That is because we doesn't have the pagination and sorting. That is why it listed like this, and when we have it, we will have on separate page. The element will be on separate page. As you can see in the image, we will click next. For the next, we will have the current page on this blue, and we will have the previous page. So let's go back to the project. The area that will be affected by the changes is we'll have the employee service and employee service implementation. So we'll also have the controller will also be affected by the changes that we will make to the project for a beta. And inside the resource, let's go to the template. We have employees. This employees page will also be affected by the changes. Okay, these are 3 places that will be affected by these changes. For the employee repository, let's click. I will just do some explanation here. We have the JPA repository here, extend by the employee repository. So we also have another interface, paging and sorting, which we use, but in this case we will use JPA repository for this operation, because JPA repository also extend the pagination and sorting interface. Okay, this is the explanation that I will do here. Okay, the next thing, we will start implementing this project step by step. The employee service. Okay, where we will declare a method that will be implemented by the employee service implementation, and this will page from this data domain is an interface which return a page result. We'll pass the employee and name the method find page. So we'll pass a number of parameter, and this will be page number that we want to return, then followed by the page size. The page size is the total number of elements that we have in the page. So the page size is type of int, and we also need a string sort by. Okay, so we will pass the property for which we want the method to sort and return it, that is to sort the page result. Okay, and this property is for a model class, which it will be a first name, last name, or email. Okay, now let's go back to the employee service and save the changes, and we will implement this here. At unimplemented method. So here is the method that we will implement, the find page. Okay, now we will start with the sort, how we want to sort our result. We will have a sort from this data domain. Okay, let's select this, and we will use the same class to access the static members. Okay, we have sort by that have the direction, and we pass the string properties that we want to sort. Okay, let's select this. Then here we will have the sort again of the domain and access the direction that we want to sort. We want to sort it in ascending order, and then here we pass the sort by, that is the property which we want to sort it by. Okay, on the next thing we need a pageable. It's also an interface from the data domain, and we use the pageable to specify how we want to return the page. We pass some info with the pageable to our page so that it can use the info to return as we want. Okay, so pageable equal to, we'll use the page request to and access the, okay, here we will pass the page number, page size, and the sort. Okay, it passes automatically page number, page size, and the sort. That's how we want to return the page. We will pass this information to the find all, that is employee repository. Okay, so let's have the employee repository that is responsible for fetching the data. We will use the find all. Okay, here we will pass the pageable. Okay, so we won't return this null, we just want to return the page. Okay, so now it's better, and that we finish with this. Let's save the changes. Okay, the next thing, we will go to the controller class and define how the endpoint, okay, which we will make a REST API call. So inside the controller we already have this. Okay, so now by touching this we will have our code break. Now let's just copy this and have the one that we will use for test, and later delete this. Okay, and let's name this employee test. Okay, and then I will add test to this as well, and add request or add response body. That is, we want to return the information as text. Okay, so that we can see what it will return. Okay, I will not use model for now here. We just want to return and see what we will have if we make use of our new method from the service. Okay, let's have employee service dot let access this find page. Okay, here we want to find page 0 and the page size. Let me give the page size, that is the number of element per page, let me give it 5, and we also pass let's pass the property to be sorted by the first name. Okay, so remember the spelling that you will do here, match your employee property that we have here. Okay, let's go back to the controller. So what we will do now is that when we make a request to the employee test, we need to return this page. So now let's click this and return the page, that is the single page. And we need to have changes here. We have a string, so let's change method return type to employee page. Okay, it's better now. So we will make a request to this, and you can see it's what we have. So let's access localhost followed by the employee test that we have. Okay, so here is the result. As you can see, we have a total pages of 3. Okay, and we also have a total element 13, and the size, remember we specified the size is 5. Okay, here is where we specify the size. Okay, and let's check if the content is 5, as we have this 1 2 3 4 5 starting from 0. Okay, and we also have these properties that you can see here. Page number, we return the page number 0, page size 5, sort, we have these properties as well. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and the next thing we'll start the front-end implementation for the page. Okay, and we will change how the controller method look like. We will use this employee service. This is just for the test. Okay, now let's save this and see you in the next. Okay, now before starting the implementation for the front end, we have to modify the employees method. Now we use our find page method to test if it works, and it works correctly as expected. But before then, let's try to access this endpoint. Okay, so let's go to localhost employees. Okay, here now we will add the pagination and sorting to this. These are the names that I save in the database, and to save your own using the database, you can add the employee to the database. So on inside the application dot properties, you can change match your configuration for your database. Okay, now when you add the employee, now it is good to go. So here is what we will add: these previous, next, and for each we will make a request. So sending this request will have a parameter, and the parameter will be a page number, page size, and the sort by. Okay, let's go back to the controller and we will add this step by step. Okay, let me break down this a little. First, we will start with the page number. For each request, we will have a page number that we want. Okay, we will use @RAM add request param. Okay, and we will define a default value for this in case if we make a request without the page number. Okay, so the default value is 0. So let's add this integer page number. We will add this during making the request. Okay, now let's duplicate this and add for the page size. So and name this page size. Okay, and we will change this to 4. Okay, we want to display for each page, we want to display 4 employees, that is 4 items. Okay, now we also need to add for the sort by, that is the sort property that we will use. The default value we will sort by the first name, and remember inside the employees we have this first name, last name. Make sure it matches the name that we have here, because we are setting either by first name, last name, email. I use the first name as default. Okay, now let's go to the controller. Okay, and we will change this is string and name it sort by. Okay, it better now. So let's save changes, and we need to change how this works. We are sending the list of employees to the view. So now we need to change the page. We need to send a page result to the view instead of a list of employees. Okay, now how we will do this is that we will use the same employee service to call the find page method that we define. Find page, and as you can see, it passes those parameters that we have in the find page automatically: page number, page size, and sort by. Okay, we don't need to add. Okay, so here we will leave this attribute as employee, and we can also change it to, if you want to, employee page. It is better, we can understand it better like this, employee page. Okay, so now what we will do, the next thing is that we will go to the employee. We will first define for the previous. Okay, so but let me do a little modification here. So I will rather choose to have it like this: employees, and have employee page equal to, let's copy all these. Okay, so I pass this employee page. Okay, it better now. So now we will go to the employees page, that is this, in the template, and start the implementation, and we will start this by the previous button, that is this previous, and we will later have this, then the next. So now let's go to the employees. Okay, so it's checking time, accessing the employee. Okay, here is the employee page. I remember we are using the bootstrap. And as I said earlier, if you will find the link to the repository and the video for the employee management system below this video. Okay, so we'll start this implementation below this table. Okay, so let's start the implementation, and it will do it in form of a list. Okay, so let's check it is a list. Okay, that we will have. So we'll start with the UL and we will give this a bootstrap class name. That is, the class name is Pagination. Okay, so the first list item that we will have is the previous, and we will pass it inside the list item. Okay, so on this will pass the class as page item. Okay, and inside this we will have a link, but before having a link there is a condition that we want to display this. If we have a previous page, we only display this if we have a previous page. Okay, let me take you to the controller, and here we have this employee page. So let's access some of the method that we will use, and you can see them. We will use the has previous. You see we have has previous, which will check to see if you have a previous page. We also have the has next, that is to check if we have the next page. Okay, and then we also have the get number. The get number is the current number of the page. Okay, that is the current page number. And we also have the get size, that is the size of the page. Okay, so let's go back and inside the employee. So now the condition, we will specify it here, th if, and inside this attribute we'll assign that we will use the employee page and check that has previous. Okay, we will call this method to check if he has the previous, and if you have, it will display this. So inside this we will have a link and name this previous. Okay, and we will pass the link inside here, and for the first one we will pass the class for this. The class is page link. Okay, and let's add the link here, href equal to, so we'll pass the link within this attribute, and we'll have this, and this is called a vertical bar. You can find it inside on your keyboard. Vertical bar, we use it here, and inside within this vertical bar we'll pass the link. Okay, so the link will be employees. If we click on to check the previous employee. So now we will start passing the parameter. Remember, it is employees. Okay, so we will start passing the parameter, and we will start with the page number. Okay, the page number equal to, remember we are passing this within the this template attribute. Okay, let me add an. We are passing the page number and also what we will going to pass. So we add an to pass another parameter. We need a page size. So the same thing with the page size equal to, let add. Okay, we pass the value inside this page size, page number, and what remaining is the sort by. So we also add an, that is we separate each with an. Okay, so the sort by will be equal to, then followed by this attribute. Okay, now it is empty. We will start passing the step by step. Okay, for the page number, that is we have to get the current page. How do we get the current page? We use the employee, like this, employee page dot get number method. That is we get the current page. So if you get the current page, it is easier to get the previous page. So we'll just add -1. Okay, now we'll get the previous page when we click this link. And for the page size, we will just have the employee again, employee page dot get size. That is the method that we will use. Okay, now we use the employee page to access this method, but what is for the sort by? Okay, let's go back to the controller and add the sort by as attribute, so that we can use it. I will change this to sort by. We will send this to the view at sort by. Okay, and the value for the sort by, we will pass it inside here, that is sort by. Okay, now we finish with the implementation for the previous. What is remaining is that we need to save this, but before going further, remember here we are using employees. Okay, so we need to change this to employee page. Okay, employee page, because we are not sending employee to the view now. What we are sending is the employee page, and we will use this employee page now. Okay, so let's save these changes. Okay, now let's go to the browser. So let's refresh and see what we have. Okay, you see now the page size is for 1, 2, 3, 4. So why we are not having this? That is because there is no previous. Why? Let's go to the controller, because we are, the default value here is 0. Okay, now when we add 1 here as the default value, save the changes. Okay, then try to refresh. You can see we have the previous, and if we click the previous, you see the sort by value is null, but all these values we have 0. It takes us back one step back, and the page size is 4. So we are having mistake in the team leaf, and let's check this. That's why we have the null. Okay, so and it is here. So we are passing the sort by with the small p. remember we send it to the theme leaf with the capital B. Here it is. Okay, now we just need to change this. Okay, let's change it by, so let's save the changes. Okay, after saving the changes, now what we will do is that let's try to access this from the, okay, you see we have our previous page, and if we click, it takes us to the previous page. Okay, now the next thing we will do is that we will have the implementation for these numbers. Okay, that is when we click, it takes us to the page 1, page 2, page 3. So let's do this together. Okay, now we will have the implementation for the sequence of number. Remember, in this picture we have this blue, which represent the current page, and we also have other pages that it is not the current page. Okay, we will start with the implementation of these other pages that are not the current page, and we will have this as well. So let's start this, and remember this from 1 to 4 represent the number of pages that we have. Okay, so we need to use the iteration so that we can iterate over the number of pages. And to do this, we need a span element, which we will have the list item inside, and then let's have this class. Okay, not class, we will have the th each, so which we will use for the iteration. We'll specify I, and we will use I for the iteration, and we need to specify the range from which number we will iterate to which number. Okay, so we will use this attribute, theme leaf attribute. Inside this theme leaf attribute, we will have the hash numbers dot sequence. Okay, and inside this we will specify the starting and the ending point of the iteration. We will start from 0, and the end is the total number of pages. So how we will access the total number of pages? We will use employee page dot, we have method get total number, total pages. So okay, we have this method get total pages. Okay, we will start from 0 to employee dot get total pages. This is the method, and you can confirm the method here in the controller when you access get total pages. Here it is. Okay, so let's remove this. Go to the employee pages. So, and we need to add -1 because it starts from 0, and if you can see, we have this started from 1. We don't need to display 0, so the iteration will start from the 0, but here we will not display this. Okay, so because we have 0 page that we will request, page 0, so we need to start it from the 0, but when we come to display them, we will not display that. Okay, we need to add this -1 to match the number of the pages that we want. Okay, first we'll add this. Let's copy and paste. Okay, So here we have the condition for as previous. Now we will change this condition. Okay, now the condition here is if I is not equal to current page. So we will access current page by using the page, that is the method get number. Okay, so if I is not equal to current page, then we will display them, the non-current page. The only thing we can change here is that the page number will be determined by the I value. Okay, that is the only thing, and we can remove this previous. So what we can add here after removing the previous, let's add it here, th text, that is the I. Okay, so as I said earlier, the I start from 0, so when we add I here, we need to add +1 so that it can display the right number. Okay, that is for the page that is not the current page, that is the page that we doesn't have this blue tick. So we will add for the blue, that is the condition will be changed, and the condition here is that if it is equal to current page, that is the changes that we will do. If it is equal to current page, that is if employee page, if I is equal to employee page dot get number. Okay, and to add the blue, we can, it is the bootstrap class name active that we will add in the class. Okay, so let's save these changes. We finish with this implementation. Let's try to refresh the page and see. Okay, you see we have 1, so it does not display the previous because there is no previous on 1. Okay, and 2, the previous displayed. 3, we have the previous displayed. You see the page continue to change. Okay, now what we will do next is that we will have the next. So to do for the next is simple. We just need to copy this and change the implementation a little bit, but you will not add it inside the span because the span here is iterating. Okay, now is iterating element. Okay, now so we will change this to next, and also we will change the condition if next. So remember here we are doing -1, so here +1, the current page +1, that is a request. So let's save these changes and check what we have so far. Okay, let's go back to 3. You see we have next. Okay, now the implementation is working, and the next thing we will add is the sort by, either first name, last name. By default it is sorting by the first name, and if you go to the page 1, you can see it starts with Aisha, Aliyu, B, A, B, C. That is, it is sorted by first name, and we can decide if we can sort it by last name or email, and that is the topic we will look at next. Okay, in this section here is the implementation that we will have to sort by first name, last name or email. and we will have this button to apply the implementation. Okay, now let's go to the theme leaf, and then here, that is, we will have it inside the table here within the th and then th and the table. Okay, we will have a form to make a request, but before then let's have a div. We need to have it in a row, so we need to have this class row, and then for each we need to have the call auto. So what we will do first, let's define the form. Okay, and let's pass the attribute, the th action equal to, we will specify the endpoint, that is the employees, and then we will also have the method, that is the method is equal to get, and this will be in capital letter like this. Then we will also have the div, which will have the select, because here we are using the select here, we will first have this implementation and later have for the button. Okay, so let's have the div, for which we will have this insert div, and then we'll have the class equal to call auto. So we'll start with the select, and we will pass some values here, that is the attribute. We'll start with the class bootstrap, that is, it is form select. Okay, space, we also have form select, then followed by sm, and that is not the only thing we have. Let's break this down and pass other values. Okay, we have the area label equal to dot form select, and then we have the sm as well, then example. Okay, so the last thing is the name equal to sort by, that is the name of the attribute that we sent to the view. Remember, it is a sort by. Okay, so now we will pass the options here. First we will start with the default option. Okay, so and then we will call the selected okay, let's name the sort by names. Okay, so let's have other option. So I will duplicate this, so I will delete this. We need value. The value for this is, I will start with the first name, okay. So on, let's have the th dot selected equal to, we will have this attribute th dot selected, that is sort by equal to first name. Okay, so on, we'll write the first name here, first name, and we can combine it like this, first name, if you want it better. And let's duplicate this for the last name and the email. So 1, 2. So we just need to change the last name, sort by here will be equal to last name. Okay, last name, and then email. Okay, so we have finished with this. So the next thing, we'll have the submit button. Okay, and we will have it below this div. Okay, the same for this, we have div, that is with the class name called auto, class call auto. So we'll have the button here, button. Okay, so let's pass this class for the bootstrap, btn secondary, btn sm. So we define the type. The type will be submit, and we'll pass the name as apply, like this. Okay, now let's test the implementation to see if it works as expected. Okay, now let's go to the browser, access the local host employees. Okay, you see we had it sorted by first name, that is the default, and if you have last name and click on apply, you see it is sorted by the last name. And if we have email, so it's sorted by the email. And if you check this by the email, we have this Y Yasir Yusuf, and when we change this first name, go back to this and check, you see that is we have Zakir here. And for the last name, let's check. Okay, we have this Umar. Now it is sorted based on the names that we have here. Okay, so this is the final implementation of this. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.